What's up, guys? Brian back to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7, and Greg Nicotero reveals how the Negan victim was selected. So it's kind of cool to think about, what the producers and the writers were thinking about when they picked the victim or victims, shall we say. So everyone is abuzz about, in 1 week, we're going to find out who the freaking victims are, and it's a comicbook.com article. We can't wait. We'll put the link in the description if you want to check it out. Now, spoilers are coming in the video. If you don't want to know about the victim, we'll stop watching now, because we're going to talk about it, what they're saying, the predictions, and what makes sense for the show for it. It's far from a secret that The Walking Dead ended its 6th season with a monumental cliffhanger. The closing moment of the show's 83rd overall episode introduced the highly anticipated villainy of Negan, but kept viewers on their toes as he chose a victim from mixed group. The final shots were from the victim's perspective, as Lucille rained down hell upon their skull and bashed someone into oblivion. Although fans will have to wait until this weekend to find out who Negan killed, it turns out the crew behind the series have known who would die for quite some time. So, of course, the writers and the people are going to say that they're going to know who's going to be the victim. I mean, you got to know to come back, or book shows, or book this, or book other movies, or whatever. We have the biggest cast of The Walking Dead. Season 7 is going to be huge, so they're going to get rid of some victims right off the bat. Sorry, pun intended, but there you go. Season 7 is going to be awesome. The Walking Dead executive producer and the VFX guru Greg Nicotero opened up to comicbook.com about when and how Negan's victim was selected for The Walking Dead Season 6 finale, Season 7 premiere. Unfortunately, they didn't just play eeny, meeny, miny, mo with a list of names before starting production this year. So they picked someone on purpose. And who do you think it is? I've said in numerous times of my thing, of the channels and the videos, we thought it was Glenn, and he's going to be one of the 2 victims, is what is being told. That decision was made last year before we ever got into the finale. Nicotero said that story was all sort of broken within the writer's room. If you look back at the history of our show, the death of every single character has provided us with an opportunity to change the direction of the show, even as far back as Shane and Lori and Herschel and Tyrese and Beth. The show is inherently different after each one of those people was killed. In this instance, the introduction of Negan and the death of this person, it really does provide us with a pretty substantial course change, because that's really what the season was leading up to last year. So it's all about change, and the death has to mean something for that. So what do you think it is? Which one of the character or characters will die and have the biggest change? A lot of people think Daryl, but Daryl is so crucial to the show. All the fangirls love him. All the people love Daryl for majority of the show. Some people hate him. But of these 6 people, based on the picture of the sneak peek and everything, we narrow it down to these 6 people. Which one or ones do you think it is? Now, the theories, the predictions, the spoilers, the early information is saying it's 2. That it's Abraham, Daryl interferes, and then Glenn dies. So if it's those 2, it makes these 2 women stronger, changes the course of that for a lot of things. If you kill Abraham, the military aspect is going to be gone. You kill Glenn, Maggie aspect is going to be tough. But the aspect of the hilltop and them running it, if anyone knows the comics, is going to be the Maggie show, and Sasha's going to be there with them. Now, it would make sense to kill Daryl, but for some reason the writers and whatever don't want to get rid of Daryl, and I don't want to get Daryl. I can't picture the show without Daryl, so that's out right here, because it's out. Because this is episode 4 filming, Negan and Daryl at Alexandria. They will go back to Alexandria and take half your shit when they come back there, and Daryl is a prisoner. The kill was largely brought upon the group as a result of Rick's actions late in the season. The former sheriff and now leader of Alexandria thought his group could handle any threat presented to them, but instead led his group to trouble. He started something, like Morgan and Rick said. You had their conversation when they were going to get Carol. You didn't end something, you started something. And they really did, especially when they were talking out here. I wonder which one's Negan, Michonne says. So that's definitely a big factor, that Rick started this, and it's a different aspect from the comic, but either way, Lucille victims is what's going to happen. Listen, Rick Grimes thinks he's got a handle on things, Nicotero said. He thinks he knows what's in store for him out there. He thinks he knows what he can take, that he can take on anybody that comes in his way. The truth of the matter is he can't, and he doesn't. The fact that Rick was overly confident because he underestimated the world, that the people out there, they pay for it. It's really a unique opportunity to change the direction of the show, because our world just got bigger, and that's something we talked about a lot last season, how excited we were to be able to open up the world into the hilltop and the sanctuary and the kingdom and get a much larger view of the universe of The Walking Dead consists of. So that's true. I mean, Rick did get overconfident in a couple of different aspects, especially when he was in the bed with Michonne, and they were like, Jesus came through. They all will. Anything we can come, we'll just take it. We'll just take over. We'll just do it. Because everything they've done before that, they did. They were on a hen streak. They took over the prison. They were a big part of Herschel's farm. And they took over Alexandria. You can see Rick's face here, how he was confident. He was just going to take out these saviors, but he avoided a fight, thinking he could just go around. But unfortunately, they were ambushed by the saviors. So who do you think's going to die? Believe the spoilers, believe the hype, not go against it, go with it is. There you go, guys. Post your comments below. Subscribe to the channel to get more videos. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We can't do it without you guys. We appreciate you checking out the channel and the video. And as always, like I said, subscribe to get more videos. You guys are awesome, and thank you for watching.